Clearly, Governor, the president is making a pitch for independence, and I saw in one of the recent Gallup polls you're actually beating him with independence. How are you going to outdo him in that department?
Well, by showing a record as opposed to rhetoric. The president has always been good at saying things that sound wonderful, but you know, we now have not just his words, but his record. We've seen for 3.5 years the policies of Barack Obama play out. And as they've played out, we've seen that he has not been able to end the high level of joblessness. He has not been able to see rising incomes. As a matter of fact, incomes have gone down during his term. He's not been able to turn around the housing market. In fact, housing prices have still gone down. Foreclosures, 2.8 million, a record number of foreclosures. The president's record is not one we'd like to see for another 4 years. I think the American people recognize we're not better off 4 years after Barack Obama came into office. We're worse off. And despite the flowery rhetoric, the record is terrible, and we need someone who can get the country working again with rising incomes and bright prospects for our kids.
Speaking of rhetoric, he had some fiery rhetoric pointed at you yesterday. He said, unlike some people, I wasn't born with the silver spoon in my mouth.
Well, you know, the president is really taking aim at anybody he can find these days. In fact, in my case, I'm certainly not going to apologize for my dad and his success in life. He was born poor. He worked his way to become very successful despite the fact that he didn't have a college degree, and one of the things he wanted to do was provide for me and for my brother and sisters. I'm not going to apologize for my dad's success, but I know the president likes to attack fellow Americans. He's always looking for a scapegoat, particularly those that have been successful like my dad, and I'm not going to rise to that. This is a time for us to solve problems. This is not a time for us to be attacking people. We should be attacking problems, and if I'm president, I will stop the attack on fellow Americans. I'll stop the attack on people and start attacking the problems that have been looming over this country.